10 worst vegetables for people with diabetes. A diet with more vegetables can really help manage blood sugar or reduce your risk of diabetes. But it's not just about eating more veggies. It's about choosing the right ones. Some vegetables can poorly impact blood sugar levels and may worsen complications associated with diabetes if consumed inappropriately. Starchy vegetables, for instance, are high in carbohydrates which are broken down into glucose during digestion, potentially leading to blood sugar spikes. While carbohydrates are an important energy source, excessive or unbalanced consumption can complicate blood sugar management, especially for those with diabetes. A study of nearly 25,000 people found that eating more starchy vegetables was linked to a higher risk of metabolic issues, including diabetes. For every serving increase, the risk went up by 6% for starchy veggies and 8% for white potatoes. On the flip side, dark green veggies can help lower the risk by 7% for each standard serving added. So, aim for more greens on your plate. Alongside carbohydrate content, the glycemic index, or GI for short, offers additional insights into how quickly your vegetables are absorbed and affect glucose levels. Foods are ranked on a scale of 0 to 100, with lower numbers indicating a smaller impact on blood glucose. Foods with a low GI value of 55 or less cause minimal blood sugar spikes. In the middle range, foods with GI values between 56 and 69 cause moderate blood sugar rises, requiring more mindful consumption. And high GI foods, scoring 70 or above, cause the most rapid blood sugar spikes and should be limited in a blood sugar-conscious diet. In this video, we explore high carbohydrate vegetables with their glycemic indices. And we'll save the best for the last. Our surprising yet effective methods to still enjoy starchy vegetables without disrupting your blood sugar balance. Before we dive in, please note, all the information in this video is created by real people, thoroughly fact-checked, unbiased, and reviewed by qualified professionals. 1. Potatoes. Potatoes are one of the most carbohydrate-dense and starchy vegetables, containing approximately 37 grams of carbohydrates per medium-sized white potato. Once a potato is cooked, its starch is turned into rapid digestible starch that turns into glucose within 20 minutes once consumed. A cup of mashed potatoes contains 30 grams of carbohydrates, while a cup of boiled potatoes gives 32 grams. Their starchy nature can cause rapid glucose spikes, potentially destabilizing blood sugar levels. The glycemic index of potatoes changes with cooking. Boiled potatoes have a GI of 70, and mashed potatoes tend to have a higher GI of 83 due to their smooth texture, which accelerates digestion. Baked and fried ones like French fries are around 95. No matter how they're cooked, though, potatoes are still considered high GI foods. More concerning, potatoes are ubiquitous in many cuisines and are often consumed in large quantities. For example, white potatoes, often consumed as French fries, chips, or mashed potatoes, is a common part of an unhealthy Western dietary pattern, making them particularly challenging for people managing diabetes. To make potatoes more diabetes-friendly, portion control is essential. A small boiled potato or half a cup of mashed potatoes can be included in a meal when paired with high-fiber vegetables or protein sources such as grilled chicken or fish. Pairing helps moderate the rate at which glucose enters the bloodstream. Opt for healthier cooking methods by boiling or baking potatoes instead of frying them, as this reduces calorie intake and minimizes added fats. For those looking for alternatives, cauliflower mash is an excellent low-carb substitute, offering a similar texture while significantly reducing carbohydrate content and glycemic load. 2. Corn. Corn, whether served on the cob or as kernels, contains about 31 to 34 grams of carbohydrates and 7 to 12 grams of sugar per cup when boiled, and has a glycemic index ranging from 55 to 65, placing it in the moderate GI category. While corn is rich in dietary fiber, which aids digestion, its carbohydrate content can still lead to elevated blood sugar levels if consumed in large portions. Corn's natural sweetness makes it a popular ingredient, but it also makes portion control more critical for people with diabetes. When consuming corn, moderation is key. A half-cup serving can be balanced with non-starchy vegetables like broccoli or spinach and lean proteins to create a more balanced glycemic impact. Fresh or frozen corn is preferable to canned varieties, which often contain added salt or sugar that can exacerbate health complications. If you're a fan of corn, consider having it earlier in the day or after exercise. Your body needs more carbs at those times, making it a smarter choice for your blood sugar. For those seeking lower carb alternatives, zucchini or green beans can be excellent substitutes, offering versatility in cooking while reducing the carbohydrate and glycemic load. Are you enjoying our video so far? If so, please give us some hints by dropping a like, and we'll make more content like this. 3. Sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes, often praised for their high nutritional value, contain approximately 58 grams of carbohydrates and 19 grams of sugar per cup when boiled. They are a rich source of dietary fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants such as beta-carotene. Despite their nutritional benefits, sweet potatoes have a glycemic index of around 70, placing them in the high GI category. In other words, their natural sweetness and high starch content can cause moderate blood sugar increases, particularly when consumed in larger quantities or in processed forms like sweet potato fries. To include sweet potatoes in a diabetes-friendly diet, portion size should not exceed half a cup per serving. Try to monitor portion sizes carefully. Measure servings using a kitchen scale or measuring cup rather than eyeballing portions. Baking or roasting sweet potato wedges with a drizzle of olive oil and seasoning can be a healthier preparation method compared to frying or adding sugar glazes. Pairing sweet potatoes with protein-rich foods or healthy fats, such as grilled salmon or avocado, further helps slow the digestion of carbohydrates, minimizing their glycemic impact. For those looking for an alternative, spaghetti squash provides a lower-carb option with a similar satisfying texture. 4. Peas. Green peas, while nutrient-dense and high in fiber, fall into the category of starchy vegetables. Boiled or frozen peas have a glycemic index of 51, which places them in the low GI range. Fresh green peas even have a very low GI of only 35. So, peas have a relatively low glycemic index, but it's crucial to consider their total carbohydrate content, as even low GI foods can impact blood sugar when eaten in larger portions. For perspective, 1 cup of peas contains 25 grams of carbohydrates and 9.5 grams of sugar per cup when cooked. This amount can be around 10% of your daily carb allowance, and a person often easily eats more than 1 cup of pea. So while peas are certainly a nutritious choice and an excellent source of vitamins, such as vitamin C and K, being mindful of portion sizes is key, especially if you have diabetes or are watching your carbohydrate intake. Limiting peas to half a cup per serving and pairing them with lean proteins like grilled chicken or fish can balance their glycemic impact. Opting for fresh or frozen peas instead of canned ones avoids added sugars and sodium that may exacerbate blood sugar issues. Consider the ripeness level of your peas, since their sugar content increases as they ripen, making slightly less ripe versions better choices for blood sugar management. For those seeking an even lower carb option, leafy greens like spinach or kale can provide similar nutritional benefits with a much lower glycemic impact. 5. Plantains. Plantains, a staple in many tropical cuisines, are carbohydrate-rich with approximately 47 to 55 grams per cup, or 150 grams, no matter if they're ripe or green. The good news is that their glycemic index stays quite consistent at about 45, so they're a slower digesting option. But here's something to keep in mind. While plantains have a low GI, less than 55, their high carb content can still be a concern when managing diabetes. Some diets focus too much on GI and overlook carbs, which might lead to overeating without realizing it. Ripe plantains are particularly high in natural sugars. Green plantains have just 3.43 grams of sugar per cup, but when they turn yellow, the sugar jumps to 26 grams. Fried plantains, a popular preparation method, add unhealthy fats and calories, further complicating blood sugar management for those with diabetes. To enjoy plantains in a diabetes-friendly way, opt for green plantains, which are less ripe and contain fewer sugars. Baking or boiling plantains with a touch of spices instead of frying can reduce their overall glycemic load. Limit portion sizes to half a cup and combine plantains with low-carb vegetables or proteins. 6. Yams. Yams, often confused with sweet potatoes, are another starchy vegetable packed with carbs. They have about 42 grams of carbs per cup when raw and 37 grams per cup once cooked. Their glycemic index is about 65, placing them in the moderate GI category. While yams are rich in dietary fiber and essential vitamins, their starchiness makes them a potential challenge for blood sugar control when consumed in excess. To minimize their impact, yams should be consumed in small portions, ideally no more than half a cup. Boiling or baking yams without added sugar or fats is the healthiest preparation method. Consider eating them as part of your larger meals rather than as standalone snacks to better manage blood sugar response. Spaghetti squash or raw turnips can serve as lower-carb alternatives, providing similar textures with significantly fewer carbohydrates and a milder impact on blood sugar levels. For those interested in the evidence, the studies supporting our claims are provided in the link in our description box. 7. Cooked pumpkin. Pumpkin is a nutrient-rich vegetable containing approximately 12 grams of carbohydrates and 5 grams of sugar per cup and a glycemic index of about 75 when cooked. Its high GI indicates that it is rapidly absorbed, making it a fast-digesting carbohydrate that can lead to blood sugar spikes. Despite its health benefits, such as being rich in beta-carotene and fiber, pumpkin's glycemic properties make it less favorable for diabetes management if consumed in large portions. Small portions of pumpkin, such as a quarter cup, can be included in a diabetes-friendly diet when paired with low GI foods to moderate its glycemic impact. Avoid sugary pumpkin preparations like pies or lattes or pumpkin bread, which add unnecessary carbohydrates. Instead, roast or steam pumpkin with herbs and spices for a healthier option. Spaghetti squash, with just about 7 grams of carbs and 2.8 grams of sugar per cup, offers a lower carb alternative with similar flavors and texture. 8. Boiled beets. Beets, known for their natural sweetness, contain around 17 grams of carbohydrates and 13.6 grams of sugar per cup and have a glycemic index of about 65 when boiled. While beets are rich in nutrients such as folate, potassium, and fiber, their sugar content can lead to moderate blood sugar increases when consumed in large amounts. Beets also have the potential to increase calorie intake when prepared with added sugars or glazes. For people with diabetes, moderation is critical. A serving size of half a cup, preferably paired with non-starchy vegetables or lean proteins, can help minimize blood sugar spikes. Be mindful that prepared beets are sometimes preserved in sugar-based solutions. Thoroughly read labels and choose options without added sweeteners. Cooking beets with minimal seasoning helps retain their nutritional benefits while reducing their glycemic impact. Radishes, which are low in carbohydrates, less than 4 grams per cup, and have a negligible GI, can serve as a crunchy, diabetes-friendly alternative. 9. Parsnips. Parsnips are sweet, nutty-flavored root vegetables with about 35 grams of carbohydrates per cup and a glycemic index of 52 to 97 when cooked and mashed. Even raw parsnips have a GI of 85, making them less favorable for diabetes management in large portions. While parsnips are a good source of fiber and vitamins, their carbohydrate content necessitates careful portion control. Small servings of parsnips, such as half a cup, are best for managing their glycemic impact. It's smart to practice strategic vegetable pairings to balance blood sugar impact. Combine them with high-fiber vegetables like broccoli and a source of lean protein. Roasting them with olive oil and herbs instead of mashing or frying also helps reduce their glycemic effect. For a lower-carb alternative, turnips provide a similar texture and flavor with fewer carbohydrates. 10. Cooked carrots. Raw carrots are often considered a healthy snack, even for people with diabetes, but their carbohydrate content and glycemic index vary significantly depending on preparation. Raw carrots have a GI of around 16 to 30, which is low, but cooking raises the GI to approximately 46 to 85, making them a moderate to high GI food. Simply put, cooking changes the carb structure, possibly leading to quicker absorption of sugars and a more pronounced impact on blood sugar levels. To keep carrots diabetes-friendly, raw or lightly cooked preparations are preferable. If cooked carrots are desired, limit portions to half a cup and avoid sugary glazed carrot dishes. For carrots as well as other root vegetables, Steaming or roasting may keep their glycemic impact lower compared to pureeing or juicing. For those seeking a low-carb alternative, cucumber or celery provides similar crunchiness with minimal carbohydrates, making them ideal snacks for blood sugar control. Low GI versus low-carb diet for diabetes. The American Diabetes Association, ADA, emphasizes there is no one diet for every person with diabetes, and instead, it is very individualized. Some people feel great with 130 grams of carbs per day, others with 250, and some may need only 100. Blood sugar management through diet typically follows one of two established approaches. For individuals with diabetes, dietitians usually use a carb counting and low-carb approach. They may also discuss a second approach, which is a low glycemic index, low GI diet, prioritizing carbohydrates that the body processes slowly, resulting in gradual blood sugar rises. The low-carb or carb-counting approach focuses on the amount and quality of carbs. For people with diabetes, the amount of carbohydrates an individual can intake will vary greatly based on the individual. Some low-carb diets restrict total carbohydrate intake to under 130 grams daily, with some stricter versions allowing only 20 to 50 grams. Though these dietary strategies often overlap, low-carb foods frequently having low GI values, this relationship isn't absolute. The glycemic impact of foods depends on multiple factors beyond carbohydrate content, particularly their antioxidant and fiber composition, which can substantially change carbohydrate absorption rates and resulting GI values. The low GI diet includes common low GI veggies, such as salad greens and leafy greens, such as spinach, kale, cruciferous vegetables, such as broccoli, cauliflower, and non-starchy options like bell peppers, asparagus, and mushrooms. A low GI diet can be great for lowering BMI and weight, which is often a big help for managing diabetes. But don't forget that to fully manage blood sugar, you'll want to pay close attention to how many carbs you're eating each day. Both the American Diabetes Association, ADA, and the American Academy of Family Physicians, AAFP, suggest that carbohydrate content is still considered the most important aspect in controlling diabetes. The glycemic index also has its own limitations because individuals respond differently to the same foods. Factors like food combinations, cooking methods, and preparation techniques can greatly change the glycemic response. For instance, eating a high GI food with protein or fat can significantly lower its glycemic impact. Plus, study designs, populations, and lifestyle factors like exercise, stress, sleep, and previous meals also affect GI, limiting its consistency and utility. Should people with diabetes go for a low-carb or low GI diet? Both have their benefits, but there's not enough proof yet to say one is better than the other. But it's clear that constantly counting carbs or checking GI values can wear you out, especially since these numbers can change greatly based on the food's varieties, ripeness, and many other factors we mentioned before. You can try both diets, but instead of getting stressed over the glycemic index or carb content, keep it simple. Follow a few basic rules and cooking tips to enjoy your favorite veggies and still keep your blood sugar in check. Cooking and eating tips for diabetes. Here is a simple way to watch your diet without a lot of counting. Try implementing the plate method, which is recommended by the ADA. When serving starchier vegetables, limit them to 1/4 of your plate and fill the remainder with non-starchy vegetables, 1/2 your plate, and lean proteins, last 1/4 of your plate, to create balanced meals that won't spike blood glucose. Another smart tip is to consume different foods in a specific order. Recent studies show that eating leafy vegetables, protein, and fat before starchy foods, like rice, potatoes, and corn, can reduce blood glucose by up to 73% compared to eating them together or after starchy foods. Try eating starchy vegetables when your body needs more carbs and is better at processing them, like earlier in the day or after a workout, especially if you have low blood sugar after exercise. This way, you can enjoy it without worrying about blood sugar spikes. People with diabetes are often advised to eat more fiber for better blood sugar control. Despite being a carbohydrate that is found in all plants, fiber cannot be digested by our body and has no direct impact on the glycemic response, or GR for short. Instead, it reaches the large intestine, where gut bacteria break it down, producing beneficial fatty acids. That's why eating fiber-rich veggies can lower the overall GI of a meal. Consuming 10 grams of dietary fiber a day has been shown to help lower fasting blood glucose, reduce hemoglobin A1C, and fasting insulin. Those great high-fiber vegetables for diabetes are broccoli, spinach, kale, carrots, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, green peas, bell peppers, and zucchini. Try to retain the fiber in vegetables by avoiding over-peeling and cutting them into larger pieces. Foods with more resistant starch are also more suitable for managing blood sugar. Resistant starch is found in whole grains, seeds, raw potatoes, green bananas, high amylose corn, and some processed starchy foods. Beyond adding fibers and resistant starch, various food pairing strategies can help lower the GR of high-carb meals. Specifically, pairing high-carb vegetables with low-carb options, proteins, vinegar, or healthy fats slows the absorption of glucose, providing a more balanced GR. For example, sautéing corn with olive oil and almonds or serving roasted pumpkin with grilled chicken are excellent ways to balance meals. Other fat-rich foods to consider are olive oil, oily fish, nuts, or seeds. Regarding proteins, try to get more from lean meats such as chicken, fish, eggs, dairy, legumes, nuts, and seeds. Research comparing rice alone to rice with 25 grams of protein from soy, chicken, fish, or egg found that soy protein reduced GR the most, followed by chicken, fish, and egg. Vinegar, with its natural acetic acid, has also been shown to reduce GR in meals greatly, so try to have more salad. Pickled foods and other fermented products with organic acids, like lactic acid, show similar benefits. Also, keep in mind the more processed your veggies are, the less fiber they contain, and the faster they're digested and absorbed, which isn't great for managing diabetes. No matter the type, whole or minimally processed vegetables are your best bet for steady blood sugar. Cooking starch-rich veggies usually alters their structure, increasing their GR. However, storage can lead to the formation of resistant starch, which lowers GR, making them suitable for diabetes. Specifically, you can lower the GR of starchy foods like rice and potatoes by refrigerating or freezing them after cooking. This helps form resistant starch type 3, or RS3 for short, which acts like a prebiotic. For potatoes, research shows that reheating them after 24 hours of refrigeration gives the most RS3. For most starchy foods, storing for up to 5 days at a cool temperature works best for reducing the GR. So remember, refrigerate or freeze starchy vegetables after cooking, reheat or toast below 130 degrees Celsius for extra resistant starch. Don't forget that cooking methods also greatly influence the glycemic impact of vegetables. Microwaving produces the most resistant starch compared to boiling, steaming, sautéing, or frying, resulting in a lower GR. When boiling, for better glucose control, try shorter cooking times and minimal cooking water to enhance resistant starch content. Steaming or roasting veggies is a healthy way to cook, even if they have a higher GR than microwaving. They're a better option than frying or sautéing because you avoid adding unhealthy fats. Just a light touch of olive oil and some herbs and spices can make your veggies taste amazing without affecting your blood sugar. Conclusion: while vegetables are a vital component of a healthy diet, people with diabetes need to be mindful of carbohydrate content and glycemic indices. High-carb vegetables such as potatoes and sweet potatoes, yams, corn, pumpkins, beets, peas, parsnips, cooked carrots, and plantains can be enjoyed in moderation with thoughtful preparation and portion control. Try to have them earlier in the day or after exercise, when your body processes them better. Learn to recognize serving size equivalents for different vegetables. For instance, understanding that one medium sweet potato has a similar carbohydrate content to 2 small white potatoes helps make better portioning decisions. Incorporating low-carb, high-fiber alternatives and balancing meals with vinegars, proteins, and healthy fats ensures a varied, diabetes-friendly diet. Cooking and storing methods also matter. Microwaving foods or cooling foods after cooking can greatly reduce the food's glycemic response. By adopting these practices, you can enjoy the nutritional benefits of vegetables while maintaining stable blood sugar levels and reducing the risk of long-term complications. Also, why not keep a food diary? Or use a food tracking app that automatically calculates carbs or sugar content. Track the vegetables you eat, how they're cooked, and your blood sugar levels. This way, you'll learn what works best for your body and truly fine-tune your diet. Now, we want to send a big thank you to all our current subscribers and viewers. Your support inspires us to continue sharing valuable content. Hit the bell icon and turn on all notifications so you never miss a life-saving video. Besides diabetes, the sooner you spot kidney issues, the more you can do to keep things under control. If you're unsure about your kidney health and haven't been in a good shape recently, check out the video on the screen. Here, we cover all the possible symptoms, helping you spot kidney failure and take action effectively if needed. See you there. Stay informed, stay healthy.